My name is Bud Barnes. I'm a skateboard photographer from Osaka, Japan, originally from San Diego, California. And I would like to welcome you to my new YouTube channel podcast thing called Shooters. So a few years ago, I used to run a skate shop called The Mint. And on our blog, I would have a spotlight about different cameramen and different photographers. Some of my homies from Japan, some of my homies from Australia, different places, and just like a feature about them, like what they shoot with, you know, just some of their techniques, their gear they're using, just funny stories, scary stories, like whatever it might be, just like hear about, you know, the guys behind the camera, because I do feel like we are a very important part of skateboarding media. And yeah, and I just, you know, it's just cool to like link up with other photographers from around the world and hear their stories. Which brings us to our first shooter. I'm super hyped to catch up with my man Bruce Rodela from Northern California. Bruce is an OG. He's been in the industry for a really long time. I used to work with him at a wood shop called Clutch Distribution, and he was my sales manager. And from that, we've just been like friends over the years and kept in touch. And Bruce has been killing it in photography for a really long time. He's got a strong background in film, now digital. He's doing some video stuff. He's just got a bunch of shit going on. And like, he's a hard worker, and he's just an all-around dope dude. So like, I'm really excited to have him on the show. First guest. I hope you guys enjoy.
This is Bruce.
Yo, Bruce, what's up, dude?
Yo, what's going down? You hear me okay?
I can hear you totally fine, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I'm having some troubles with my headphones. I think maybe I'll just take them out.
How you been, man?
How you doing, B? I've been good, man. I've been real good. What about you? That's the question, man.
Yeah,
How
dude.
the fuck you been?
Dude, I've been doing good, man. Just fucking hanging in there, you know? Like, I mean, still out here in Japan, in Osaka.
What's the podcast all about, man? It's your new fucking baby you got going here.
Yeah, man. So this is the thing, dude. So like when you know, I was doing on like the blog that we had for the shop, I was doing a feature about like, you know, different skate photographers, like dudes who I'd meet around, just like some other homies and stuff, and just to promote like skate photography, dude. It's like, it's rad. I love it. It's something I've been doing for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, now with like, you know, there's all these like cool shows, like Anthony Shetler's got his show, which I was on that shit a while ago. That was tight. You know, there's like 9 Club. There's a bunch of like cool stuff going on, but it's really just talking to like skateboarders about skateboarding, which is dope, which I'm like super down with. I'm sure everybody's down with. But, you know, there's just a lot of dudes who are behind the camera, and I kind of think, you know, us as like the photographers and even filmers, we're like the unsung heroes of like skateboarding, you know, like you know, so, and I want to A, meet more dudes who are shooting stuff, and B, I want to like promote like just like good skate photography and dudes who are just like about it, because, you know, with just the way like, you know, like social media moves, and there's so many kids ripping now everywhere, and that means I think if the more rippers that are coming up, the more there's more skateboard like you know, producers and cameramen are going to be out there as well. Like more dudes are just going to kind of maybe be like me, like realize like one day it's like, oh fuck, I ain't getting sponsored, I ain't going pro, I ain't, like, you know, like whatever, like I'd rather be behind the camera and
Sure. Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that realization when it's like, oh fuck, I'm not gonna be pro. I'm hanging out with this dude and this dude, they're pro. I'm never gonna be that fucking good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, what's the next thing to do? Be a photographer, you know? Definitely.
Yeah. All right, dude. Well, fucking welcome to like Shooters. You know, you are my very first guest, so this is like, we're just gonna see how this goes and just kind of fucking and just
I'm happy to be the guinea pig, dude. I'm happy to be the guinea pig. So when we become as big and famous, though, definitely have me back so we can get some more listeners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. Absolutely, man. Like, you know, we'll just see how it goes, and if it goes well, then like I'm down with it. So, what's your name? Where you from? What do you do? What's up?
Well, my name is Bruce Rodela. Plenty of nicknames I won't go into. Northern California, my whole life, born and bred. The start of skateboarding till now, I've seen the whole thing here in Northern California. And I've been an industry dude, really, for the last over 20 years. I started as a skateboarder, like everybody else. Started when I was like 8 years old. Got sponsored right away. Just spent my whole youth skating, man. I came from a generation that parents didn't know what skateboarding was. Nobody did. So skateboarders tended to be kids from kind of shitty families, to be honest with you. Complete opposite of what is going on today. There's nothing wrong with what's going on today, but man, back in my day, dude, it was a whole different thing. We had no parental guidance, so we were out skating all day. So, dude, it was my passion, man. I mean, just like any other skateboarder you talk to, it's the only fucking thing I cared about,
Right.
But, you like I was just telling you, you start getting older and you start getting hurt. I can go over all my injuries after a while. I don't want to bore you with it right now. But you keep the passion, though, man. You know that, you know? And I had a lot of friends, man, that were turning pro. And again, I'm from Northern California, man. When I started skating, Caballero was at the skate park, and Scott Foss and Keith Mead and dudes like that. Dude, when I first started skating, bud, there was like 5 tricks out. You know what I'm saying, man? So I seen everybody, but the crew I grew up with, it's when Animal Chin came out and street skating came out, right?
Yeah.
Like, I liked skating vert shit and whatever, but it always seemed kind of jockish to me even back then, and having to put all the fucking pads on and fucking bring your pad bag, get it all stinky, and yeah, bro, do the same fucking run 20 times over, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was getting stale, and then, street skating hit hard, dude, and that was my era, man. That's when it started, you know what I mean? All that towel stuff, and beginning of it, dude.
Yeah.
Rockies, wall rides, the first ollies, the first kick flips, all that. And then the next generation after that, and I stuck around, and even another one after that, and my good friends became people like Phil Shao. I saw John Cardiel come up. And just the whole Northern California scene. Bryce Knights, I've known him since I was a little kid. Tony Guerrero, I met when I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
Just that whole fucking badass era. So, you start getting hurt, and you start realizing, man, I'm hanging out with this dude and that dude. One of my best friends is Phil Shaw, one of the most amazing skateboarders of all time. I'm not going to fucking be pro, man. It's not going to happen, So what's the next thing? To me, it was taking photos. I always respected Bryce Knights, I always thought he was fucking awesome. Dan Sturt, a bunch of dudes in the mag. And I don't know, it's just a natural evolution, I picked up a camera. Very fortunate. My girlfriend, who became my wife, her dad was a photographer.
Oh, sick.
So I got, everything I needed to know. I had somebody I could, put it that way.
Right.
And he was a Nikon shooter, so I started out with Nikon. Nikon's loyal, dude,
Mm-hmm.
And after a couple of years, getting a couple photos, I got photos in the mag right away. I think my first 3 months of shooting, I got an ad in Thrasher for this local company. And then, like I said, Phil was my buddy. Started getting photos of him here and there.
Dude, so I bet...
then I went to school for photography. Yeah?
Sorry to cut you off, but I bet, probably,
No, it's okay.
around that time, to... Maybe jumping ahead too early, but, talking about, the print thing, getting photos in Thrasher or something like that during that era, was it, hard, or is it just because you're obviously skating with dope dudes, so they're just shit.
It's a good question, and by the way, bud, feel free to cut me off whenever. I can just ramble for hours. But that's a good question, and here's why I never became a household name. One of the reasons why in skate photography. Okay, I had a fear of success. Was it hard to get? No, I was hanging out with some of the baddest dudes in the Bay Area. If I fucking had the confidence that I do now, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I would have fucking been in the mag monthly. But I was always like, oh, I don't know if this is good enough. I don't want to show it to them. I'd go out on these photo shoots, man, and fucking get the greatest photos. I post sometimes on Instagram now for back in the day, and I wouldn't even fucking turn them in. You know, I wouldn't even fucking give them to the mag.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a fucking fear of success. I didn't think my fucking photos were good enough, and I was shooting with the best dudes out there, and they were definitely good enough, man. So no, if I really would have pursued it, bud, I would have been in the mag all the time, and I had some fucking issues, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
but,
I mean, dude, your photos are sick, and like
my friends believed in me, and they got me a job at Think. And Venture Trucks, Lucky Barons. It later became Street Corner Distribution, right across the street from Thrasher, right across the street from Slap, okay? And dude, just come and fucking be a sales guy, do ads for us. And it was Phil Shaw was going to have his own company, and I was going to switch over to fucking being his full-time photographer. And my shit was set, bud. I was going to be a photographer. Okay, yeah. and you know, the writing was on the wall. Everything was going in the right motion. And I got the sales job at Think, and I started making so much fucking money that photography just became, I just couldn't do it anymore. I had no time. And the passion kind of left. I did a ton of ad work for like Think and Venture and stuff. And I even did I did an article or two for Thrasher, because they're right across the street. Slap Magazine was across the street. The editor was a friend of mine, Mark Wiley. Did a bunch of stuff for Slap, ton of stuff for a bunch of other magazines, but it was all secondary, man. The money fucking took over, and I just became a fucking sales kid, man, for like 20 years, you know?
Yeah.
And photography just kind of went to the wayside, man. And, you know, I was going to school. I was going to transfer to Brooks Institute. I mean, photography was going to be my life. Almighty dollar fucking stepped in and fucking squashed it, man.
So how'd you like, I mean, so then, you know, you're in it now, you're working in the industry, you're working for Think, you got your sales thing going on, but you still have this, like, of course, obviously this passion for skating, so you're out there probably skating a bunch of shit still, and then you still have this passion for photography and shooting photos, and right. So right when you say you didn't become a household name, it was just because like you were just shooting photos for like the fuck of it, and it was probably some part of a small like necessity for your job because maybe you were shooting ads for the companies you're working for.
It was. It exactly was, and that's how come I was, you know, so useful at somewhere like Think, is because not only was I the lead sales guy, the sales manager, but I could shoot the ads, and I wouldn't take any money for it. So, and they would give me like a $500 photo budget a month, which was great. I would go get all the film I wanted, just do camera shit, just turn in some ads, and it was all crazy. But here's the deal. And, you know, I did end up doing, you know, a lot of stuff. I've got stacks of magazines that my shit's in, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I should pull them out someday, man. Maybe the next podcast I'll pull them out. I was still healthy back then, you know what I mean? And so here's the deal. You're working all day, making that dollar, and then after work on the weekends, I'm still healthy. Skateboarding is my first love, bro. I mean, obviously, it's your first love, my first love.
Right.
I had a choice. Well, do I go out on a photo shoot and shoot people all day? And this is back in the film days when you moved to 30 rolls of film without getting a sequence, and you know, you couldn't look at the back of your camera and see if the photo came out good. It was harder, bro, right?
Yeah.
It was fucking harder, man. So, bro, I mostly skated and partied on all that sales guy money. You know what I mean? And photography, dude, it got less and less and less important, and I did it less. And dude, there would be, honestly, like 2 years that would go by that I wouldn't shoot photos, man.
Oh, damn.
You know? It's like, you know, my buddy Phil passed away. Corey Duffel left Think Skateboards. This guy left. Now, these are guys I really loved shooting with, you know, and they're all gone out of my life now. And there's these new kids on the team that I like, but don't know them as well, and they're skating different, right?
Right.
You know?
You just don't know.
And the sequences aren't happening at all anymore because the fucking tricks are so hard, and blah 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 blah. So I just skated. I just skated until I couldn't skate anymore. And that's kind of where I'm at now. I'll be honest with you. I've shot more photos in the last 4 years than I've shot in my whole life. And not only that, the funny thing is, I'm more passionate about it now than I've ever been. And I'm in love with photography now more than ever, dude.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to start shooting for other people. I mostly just do it for work. But I'm going to start shooting for other publications and that and the other thing because I'm so fucking into it. And I can't skate anymore. So
right.
it's a couple reasons.
Let me ask you this. So kind of just as you said, kind of like the evolution, like back then you were shooting on film and just going through rolls and rolls and rolls, and maybe have to wait till you develop it to see if you got that, those shots that you need. And
right.
now that it's the fucking 2019, dude, like it's so easy to just to like boom, you can check your camera every time, like, oh, that was whack, go back and do it.
Yep.
How much did your film shooting on film, how does that like help you with your current, because like me, dude, like I have film cameras and like I fuck around with my film cameras to try to shoot skate photos, but it's not my main, you know what I'm saying? Like I always have DSLR. So
sure.
So I was never forced to learn on film. And so coming from you getting your start with shooting film to now shooting on digital, how is that like? How has that helped you? Do you just automatically know like your lighting settings now?
Again, before I got the job in the industry, when I was just doing freelance like you're doing now, way back in the day, dude, I was just doing freelance, going to school, and I worked at a camera store. Okay, so I got all the free film in the world, and I used to shoot nonstop. It was almost like shooting digital, meaning I didn't have to pay for shit.
That's tight, dude.
Yeah. So I shot an ass load of film, man. But when it came to skating, I don't know, man. It was a bitch for me. You know what I mean? For every good photo, man, I got a ton of crap. But you're asking if that whole time helped me. And bro, it did. I mean, I used to shoot nonstop. And now with it, it's digital, I still got all that skill that I learned shooting film. And now I can see it come out and change my angle and change the lighting and do all the minor things to where every session now, Bug, I know I'm going to get the shot for the most part. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you can do all those little tweaks, man. So sure, that whole time with film helped, but man, I wasn't that good, man. Or I don't know, maybe everybody was going through it, but Jesus Christ, you'd come home and you'd take it to the lab and you'd go get it back. And fuck, I can't believe my flash was that bright. Damn, I should have shot it over there. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was fucking. It was a bitch, dude. It was a bitch. I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, I'll tell you straight up, man. I like digital more than film. It's just, it's reignited my passion for photography. Yeah, and it's more than it's ever been. No, I'm having such a good time shooting now. It's not even funny. Man.
Totally, dude. Like
it's the best.
I know, like some guys, like there's some dudes up here in Tokyo, man, and they're just all about 120 film, and that's it. They're just like t-shirts to say fuck digital, fuck DSLRs, 120 love, shit like that. It's like, all right, dude, I get it, man. Like it's tight. Like I understand it takes a skill and everything, but like, dude, I'm like right there with you, man. Like I just feel fortunate that I did learn on DSLRs and I didn't have to learn on film. To when I do want to pick up a film camera and shoot something with film, whether it might be skateboarding or just some lifestyle, some shit. It's fun. It's really fun for me, and it's this thing. But like, dude, I totally cheat, man, because I got my DSLR right there, dude. I get all my settings on the DSLR straight. First, like if I have like 400 speed film camera, I'll set the ISO to 400 on my DSLR, get it all right, and then shoot it with my film camera. And it's just like, all right, yeah, I kind of cheated that, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
right. What the hell? Well, Bug, back in the day, they used to use Polaroid back to get the exposure and the lighting, and then take the back off of the Hasselblad or Bronica, Mamiya, whatever you're shooting with, and then put the film on and then do your shoot. So that's always been something. Well, since the Polaroid back was invented, but that was always a little hack that you could do, man. So there's nothing wrong with getting it down with your DSLR before you shoot with. What's waste film, bro? That shit's expensive.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. And fuck, man. And like here in Japan, like, I mean, it's the rolls of film are like fucking like I don't know, like $5 or $6, and then to get it developed is like 12. It's like 24 exposures for like like $20, man. That's like beer for the day and shit. Like fuck.
That's like beer. I was just gonna say, bro. You're gonna have some beers right there.
Like for real, dude.
No doubt. So what are you shooting with now? You're shooting with DSLRs, huh?
Yeah, I am shooting. So I literally, all right, man. So I was like you, dude. I was a Nikon fucking diehard Nikon. I got my first camera was a Canon. Like it was my homie gave it to me. I made a website for him, and like it was kind of like the payment. It was like Canon like 50D or something like that. And I didn't have that for very long until I was like, dude, I want to get a Nikon because like my homie that gave me that, he switched over to Nikon and like he had all the lenses and I was working for him and I was like, dude, I could just borrow any dope lens if I had a Nikon. So I sold the Canon, got a Nikon, got a D600 like right when they came out. That was like, I don't know, what was that, like 5 or 6 years ago? And then that was great, dude. Yeah. And then I literally like 6 months ago, man, I switched over to Sony because I've been doing a lot of video work, and I got the now I got the A7 III.
Right.
And I kind of blew it.
Very familiar with the camera. Very familiar with it.
Yeah, dude. Like I just kind of blew it. I don't feel like I blew it. Like I'm really stoked on the A7. Like the Sony's like sick as fuck, and it's really dope. But I kept my Nikon for a while, and I was like, oh, dude, I'll just keep the Nikon for like my skate photos, man, because that's like my go-to. I know how it works. Like it's never let me down. But then it was just like got the Sony, and I was having fun playing with it, and like the Nikon was just sitting in the bag, and I wanted to get some new lenses for the Sony, and like I sold the Nikon, and which I'm like still kind of like, oh man, you should have just kept it. And then like literally like a week after or 2 weeks after I bought the Sony A7 III, the Nikon released their like mirrorless camera, and I was like, man, fuck, dude.
Right. But a whole new lens now, though, Buck. You have to get all new lenses, so it's the same as getting the Sony because you can't really use your old Nikon lenses on it, right? I mean, unless you have a converter, but
I got the converter.
Get a converter for the Sony.
I got the converter. I kept like 2 of my Nikon lenses, and I just grabbed some Sony like native lenses because they're just like the autofocus on them is dope, and so like when I'm doing video work, those are really gonna come in handy.
Well, you know what's funny? This is gonna be funny to you. Same exact thing. My last Nikon was a D600, man.
Oh,
and I got into the video. I never got into video before, by the way. I was I've been shooting for over 20 years, okay? Never picked up a video camera. Only photography. Got the D600, and it had video. Not the best, but it had video. Started shooting video, and like, that's my side thing now, dude. I love shooting video.
Yeah, video is fucking
listen, I want to get something lighter. I want to get, something new, and this micro 4/3 mirrorless stuff comes out. I did the same thing, dude. I completely switched over, man.
Yeah.
I completely fucking switched over. And I love it, though. I love it, though, because I can have the settings for photo, and I can have the settings for video, and I don't have to think about anything. I can get a photo, and then I can get clips right after, and it's smooth as hell, and it looks buttery as fuck, dude.
Yeah, dude.
And it's so light, and I'm into it, man. I'm stoked that I switched over.
What do you get? What'd you get?
I went Fuji, man.
Oh, yeah,
I went Fuji, dude.
Sick.
I went Fuji, man.
Sick, yeah.
I got a couple XT3s, and again, I fucking dig it. And I kept an 85 millimeter Nikkor and the fisheye because they don't have a good fisheye.
Yeah,
for the Fuji system. But I mean, the fisheye looks great, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you go on my Instagram, there's a blunt on a Jersey barrier, a black and white blunt on a Jersey barrier, and that's with the Fuji and the Nikon fisheye, man. And I just think it's fucking beautiful, man.
I'm looking at your fucking
almost
Instagram
gives an
right now.
infrared look. I used to shoot a lot of infrared back in the day, and I can get like those dark skies and those ominous clouds and everything with the that I just couldn't get with the Nikon. You know?
Yeah, man. No, like I'm looking at this blunt right now on the Jersey Barrier. That shit's sick, dude. Really nice. Like, yeah, man.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's fucking. It's a rad spot. You know, that's what's going down in Oakland right now, man. My homeboys are building spots like that all over Oakland, like hitting all these corners and. Everywhere you look, there's a little DIY spot. Oakland's going off right now. It's pretty rad, actually.
That's so sick, dude. Yeah, man. Cause like, I mean, dude, you've been in the fucking game for a minute. So like, how is it like now for you? Like as like like a loc OG from fucking NorCal up there. Know everybody, know the spots. You've seen the scene evolve.
Like I said, dude, I my situation was different than most, man. Again, here's the thing. I always said I'll really be a photographer when I can't skate anymore. Swear to God, I totally said that, man.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't think, Bug, that I'd be able to skate as long as I've been able to skate. I didn't start getting these gnarly can't skate injuries until a few years ago, man. And guess what? That's when the passion of photography really kicked in.
Really took over, huh?
You know? So I feel like even though I've been in this game forever, I've never really became a photographer until now, dude. I'm actually like so stoked on writing, filming, like, my website, just go to my name, BruceRodela.com. You'll notice there's a bunch of articles on there, a bunch of my photography. Don't have any galleries up yet, selling some skateboards on there, blah, 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 blah. But that was just to kick off. I put about 10 stories on there, That was just to kick off to actually start going out and doing some photography work. So even though I'm an OG, I feel like I'm young in this game, man. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm a dinosaur on a skateboard. And as far as the industry and working goes, so actually going out and doing an article, like I'm working on an article right now on Oakland, actually, and I'm fucking so hyped on it, man. It's going to be the best thing I've ever shot before. It's already starting off like that. I'm going to do a whole video for it too, right? But it's because it's what I want to do, and it just so happens that my friends are the best skateboarders in Oakland,
right.
And if they're not, I'll find the other best skaters in Oakland that I don't hang out with. And fuck, if they want to shoot with me, cool. If not, whatever. I ain't got to prove shit to nobody, dude. You know what I'm saying?
That's fucking tight,
You know what,
dude.
Bug? That is the OG coming out. You know what I mean? That's the OG coming out.
Well, no, dude, but that's like super. It's
that's,
super liberating, though, man. Cause well, yeah, it's tight, dude. It's like that's tight to have that mindset, and it's like, I mean, cause I kind of feel the same way, man. Cause like. Like I just said, I came to another country not knowing anybody and not knowing a single fucking person in the scene or industry. Like, I had a brand here, I had a team, I made videos,
right.
I had a shop, dude. Like, and I was just self-made. Nobody fucking gave it to me. So now, like I'm just thinking like, yeah, man, I don't really feel.
Yeah, hey, and by the way, man, I really respect that, dude. I really do, Bug. I want you to know that, man.
Thanks, man.
I've been following you ever since I first met you at Clutch.
Yeah.
The boards and the whole thing. And what you did, man, that took some fucking big balls. So props.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it means that. Yeah, it fucking means a lot, dude. And it was. I mean, I'm glad I did it. It was a hard decision to like, just to give up everything and fucking move out of Oceanside and move here and try it. And it was the hardest thing I've ever done, but one of the best things I've ever done. Obviously, like look at me now, it changed my life. But fucking
sure, yeah.
But
sure,
it's just like kind of like me as well. Like I do kind of feel like this OG dude that like I can do whatever I want. If I don't want to fucking go out and shoot skating, if I want to go out and shoot something else, like I will, and people aren't gonna like judge me for it. Or when I do shoot skating now, it's just like fortunately like it seems that like just my photos been coming out what people tell me, and like I feel as well like, oh, dope photo, like that's a good photo. But like I don't really care to try to get them in like Japanese magazines or anything like that.
Sure.
Fucking,
Right.
unless people ask me, and unless they're asking me, but I'm not going out there like sending every photo I take to like VHS Mag or fucking or Border Kill or all these like Japanese skate mags.
Right. Right.
I don't want to
Right.
say I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck because
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do give a fuck, but like I kind of like it's just it's too much energy. I've tried it already, and I've tried hard to do it, and I know how much energy it
And
takes.
you can lose your passion. You can lose your passion really easy having to be a photographer and taking every single job and hustling that hard, man. You can really lose your passion, whether it be photography or anything, man. Say you're into fucking yoga, dude. You become a yoga teacher, a fucking yoga studio owner, this and that. You're gonna end up fucking hating yoga. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's best to be in a position to do what you want, man. And,
Right.
and your work is going to show it too, man.
Totally.
You know, if you're only putting out what you want to put out under your fucking parameters, dude, the
Right.
shit's going to be dope, man.
So-
it really is.
So
it really is.
so keeping on that same thing, you know, another thing like, you know, from coming up like long time ago, you know, you've seen the evolution of print to digital to Instagram, and what do you think about that, man? Like, what do you think? Do you think that Instagram's a print killer? Do you think that it's evolved and it just needs to be the new medium and stuff like that? Do you want to see print still happening? Like,
Yeah, well, you know, first of all, whatever I think doesn't matter. The world's going to go on. Shit's going to naturally evolve. And no matter what I fucking say about it, it's going to do it. And that's what Instagram's doing. I mean, it's a whole new ball game, man. You know what drives me crazy is I'm, trying to do this article on my homeboy in Oakland and all his friends and all this DIY movement and yada, yada, yada. All these people come out, Bug, they're all pulling their phones out.
Yeah.
Every single person I have to say, you can't put that on your story. You can't fucking post that. I got to hold on to everything, and I put it out after the article's done. That's the one thing that drives me crazy.
Uh-huh.
Everybody just instantly wants to put their shit out, man.
Right.
I'm still in that slow molasses. I'm working on something. The end product's going to come out, and all you guys can do whatever the fuck you want. That drives me crazy.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
just drives me nuts.
You kind of lose the exclusivity of
the
it
days.
when that happens, man. Like when people
Yeah.
when you're doing that, it's
Yeah.
like you don't. It's
Yeah.
not going to be private.
Yeah.
It's not a secret. We're making this to share to the world, but let us finish it first before we share it. You know what I mean? Let us polish it up.
Right.
And
But now, what do I think is going on? Well, I think Instagram has helped a lot of people.
oh, totally.
You know what I mean? It's like they have a platform now where they don't have to rely on fucking the mag. They can do their own DIY thing. Put out a website. Put this out, put that out. Have Instagram blow them up. There's nothing wrong with
that's
that,
dope.
man. I
It's
think
dope.
it's great, but dude, I love print, man. I love me a fucking magazine that I can hold on to that's printed properly and has the proper fucking vertical and flow and this, that, and the other. And if I had a prediction, I would say fucking print's gonna make a comeback. I could be totally wrong on that. But it is just so fucking badass. I don't think this soul-killing digital shit is gonna... It's down. It's low right now. You know what I mean? But I have a feeling it's going to become cool again, man.
Right.
Just like we talked about earlier with film.
Right.
Film is cooler than it's ever been, Bug.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Print is king, dude. I love it, man.
No,
I
I agree. Like, print is like I've been fortunate enough to not have very many, but have had some of my photos printed. Like, I got a cover once, and that was fucking like that was the pinnacle of my skateboarding fucking photo career, dude. Like having a cover, and
Right.
like, you know what I mean. So, it doesn't matter if Thrasher posts up every single photo I take on their Instagram. There's nothing that's gonna beat this one other like local Japanese magazine that put me on the cover. There's and you,
that's a fact. Yep, that's a fact.
but
that's
I do feel like that, just with the I think if used in the right way, I mean, if kind of like how you do it, man, your Instagram's sick. It's just photos. It's a point of reference for people to see your work who might not be able to get the print, in their hometown or something like that. Every time when somebody wants to be like, oh dude, I know this dude, he's a dope ass photographer, check it out. Like they can't just bust out the magazine out their backpack like every time, you know what I mean? So that like makes it good and convenient. But I mean I do hope that you know, like I just feel like it's with the way Instagram goes with the and just how fast it moves, you just lose that. It's just you put it up today, everybody likes it for today, and then tomorrow it's forgotten about, and like that's the unfortunate.
Yeah, I know.
You know, versus like the print to where it's kind of like locked in forever, and it would be nice to see like, you know, like Thrasher or Transworld or something, maybe even do like themselves, like take the best photos that they see on Instagram, not just from like the top photographers of the game, like anybody, do like have the thing and have a contest and like and make people stoked, the guys who are out there shooting photos, and like do a print annual things like the best of Instagram in print form, fucking something that like you can buy at the skate shop, and these dopest photos that came out in 2018 or 2019 or whatever the fuck they come out are now locked in and like, you know, in print form and are there for
that's a good idea, man, because chances are you didn't see those photos, because you're right, there's so many thousands. I mean, how many are we missing right now since we've been on this conversation?
I know, dude.
You know, we've missed probably dozens of fucking the dopest skate photos, man. Yeah, that's a fucking great idea.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Maybe
up on that.
Maybe picture like, yo, Thrasher, do that shit. Like, yeah, because you know that's like, I mean, I feel like there's the way to just really keep to go with the times and to evolve and adapt and shit, but like also to keep it still somewhat real, and you know, and motivate people to like, you know, just shoot dope photos, because that's, you know, that's the whole thing. I'm like, I know you and I probably both want to see dope skate photos from fucking anybody who's shooting them, so why not have it be like that way?
Yeah, for sure, man. And Instagram's really good for girls with big round butts. That's what's really good Instagram tool, for sure.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Everybody fucking gets pissed off at the barracks for posting like some girl who can like barely kickflip, but she's in like short shorts and like got a big old butt and like blonde hair. And then they're just like,
yeah, that's a funny trend.
Fuck, man. Fuck, dude. Like, I just like.
You know what's crazy, man? Some of those girls really rip, though, man. I love it. That is just fucking awesome, man.
Oh, yeah, dude.
There's some of them that really fucking rip.
Dude, it's great. And, like, I think that's, like, the coolest thing about, like, fucking skating now. And especially where skateboarding is now. And we are with, like, all these people, like, around the world skating. And there's these girls coming up. And there's, you know, fucking, God, dare I say it, the Olympics.
Yeah.
You know, like, fucking, it's good. It's good, and I'm happy to see. So like,
there's a positive right there that what all this digital Instagram, internet, this thing has done, man, is it's connected the whole world, and it's got the skate fucking army even bigger, man.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, dude, you guys in Japan are killing it. You guys got some skateboarders, dude. Oh my
dude,
God,
I swear to God, Bruce. I swear to God, Bruce.
In Japan, it wouldn't have happened without the internet. It probably would have, but I mean, other spots though, it probably wouldn't have. You know what I mean? So I think that's rad. The connection that you can get with anybody around the world, man. God bless.
Totally.
The internet for that,
totally,
you know?
totally. And dude, like, you know what's funny is I said it like before, like when I was opening the Mint. That was like 6 years ago when I was like really planning out the shop, right, and trying to put it together. And like the scene in Japan was like, it was tight, it was thriving, it was good, but it wasn't where it's at now. And like I was just like, dude, and I just remember telling some people like verbatim, I was like, wait 5 or 6 years, dude. And this was before like Olympics, skateboarding got announced in the Olympics, and then it was gonna debut in Japan and shit. This was before all that. And like I was like, just watch, dude, like all these kids, like I see some dudes now that are skating and they're gonna be fucking killing it come like 2019, 2020, and like sure enough, dude, like fuck me, man.
Right. Goddamn, just in time for the Olympics, huh?
Dude, I'm telling you, dude, like, and I think like that's it.
Hey, so let me ask you, dude, what do you think about the Olympics, man? What's your thoughts on it?
I think it's I'm 50-50 on it. The long time fucking true skater that I am is just like, fuck that. I don't really think it has a place. I think that it's just because it's like hot shit right now. Then they're like, oh yeah, let's put it in the Olympics. Like, I don't know, like, where were you guys 10, 15 years ago when you're kicking us out everywhere and fucking talking shit? And now it's like cool all of a sudden because there's big industry. But at the same time, like you just said, man, like that is like an amazing thing that like skateboarding has now gotten recognized and appreciated on that worldwide level to where, and it gives opportunity for more people to have exposure to skateboarding and to have chances to skate in maybe in countries that otherwise didn't have that available. And also, like, as an industry person, now I'm not working so much in the industry like as before, but that's good. That means the industry can thrive and keep growing, and skate companies can still keep being around. I just don't want the little guys to get pushed out, the core skate shops to get pushed out, the core skate brands that are fucking doing it to get pushed out, and everybody's just gonna look at like Nike and Mountain Dew and fucking whatever and Red Bull and forget that there's 1,000 skate shops around the world that have paved the way, and 1,000 small skateboarding companies, and a lot of dudes such as like ourselves who are the ones who really paved the way to get skateboarding to the point where it's at right now, as far as just keep doing it, and keeping it real and keeping it quality, and then just gets taken over by like some fucking Olympic committee and puts on like things. I just don't. That's the only thing I don't want to happen, which is fucking gonna happen regardless. I'm not sure, but I think it's a good thing, man. Like I think it's great. To be honest with you, I'm stoked it's happening in Japan, and I'm going.
I'm thinking the same way you are. I mean, well said. You know what I mean? It's, I don't know, it's a little kooky, of course. I just think it's the natural evolution, though, and it was the way we were pointing. And I know the Olympics needs us more than we need them. That's a fact. You know what I mean? Their viewership's been down. Nobody cares about these people tumbling across a fucking mat. You know what I mean? The world has changed, and people want fucking skateboarding and all this other fucking cool shit.
Yeah.
So it was bound to fucking happen. You know what I mean? One thing I think is funny is how much everyone talks shit on it, and I know for a fact all these hardcore Harrys are trying to get into the Olympics. All the dudes that were talking shit, I know for a fact they're fucking trying to get in. You know what I'm saying? Dudes want to be in the Olympics. I don't know, man. Hokey, sure, but still kind of rad, I think it's just that thing that it's like, fuck, what do I think about this?
Right.
I'm gonna watch the whole fucking thing, bud.
Dude,
I'm doing that right now.
I'm gonna fucking go, man. I'm going. I am going, dude. Like, it is here. It is happening in Japan, dog. I'm going. Like, I've always wanted to go to the Olympics. First of all.
So what do you think? Let's jock out right now.
All right.
Dude, I think Japan is gonna fucking be on top, right?
Yo.
At least for street. Yeah.
Straight up, dude. Here it's gonna be Japan gold, Australia silver, and fucking like Brazil bronze, dude. Like, straight up. And if America's like,
I'm writing that down right now, dude. And when the betting opens, I'm gonna put some money on that.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Like, because fucking like America, like, okay, everybody's like, oh yeah, America's like got all the best skaters in the world. And it's like, dude, of course there's gnarly ass dudes everywhere. But when you look at the global thing, there's how many dope ass motherfuckers who are those kind of comp skaters, like winning Street League, fucking winning those big contests like around the world that aren't American. You know what I mean? Like dudes from like Australia, Brazil, and Japan. Yeah. Like Japan, like these kids here, man, I think they're fucking hungry. They're out for blood. And I'm gonna say third place though is gonna be tight between like Brazil and America. But definitely those four countries. Like, who knows, man? Maybe it'll just all be a surprise.
Yeah, well. Right. We're probably boring people with Olympic talk. So what do you got next?
Next? Actually, so I wanted to ask you. So from you were saying earlier, now you're like you're into like doing some like filming and shit, making some video and stuff like that, and because like I think I'm probably the same, especially having like those like mirrorless cameras where it's just so easy to switch over from like photo to video and like have your settings the same and like you know how it is. And so like tell me about that. Like what's your video game looking like now?
With the video, I do that mostly for fun. I really enjoy it, man. That's like, my golf game on the weekend if I was a golfer, if I was a normal dude. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's just fun. And I'll tell you what. You could crack a beer, you could smoke a joint, and I can film. I can't do that when I'm fucking shooting photos. I'm too busy thinking about lighting ratios, making sure this, that. I don't know. I just get so intense when I take a photo. When I film, dude, it's just fucking fun, And I feel like I'm even more a part of the session than when I'm taking a photo,
Right.
I'm like there with the fucking guy. And I got to sit there in the trenches until he makes it. And with a still shot, 'cause I don't know if you noticed, I refuse to shoot sequences. That's from the old film days.
Mm-hmm.
The last time I shot a sequence, I brought this up before, but I shot 32 rolls and the trick never came out. My buddy Danny Fuenzalida, one of the best skateboarders in the fucking world, it just didn't happen, and I walked away from sequences at that point and never fucking looked back. So I only do still shots. And you get those pretty quick, it seems like, because number one, it's not going to be a super technical trick.
Right.
It's a still shot. You know what I mean? For the most part, it's not going to be the most technical trick. When I pull out the video camera, that's when the tech shit comes out, And I sit there for days, and I feel just as good as the skateboarder when he makes it, and we crack a beer after, and, it's just the fucking coolest thing, man. And, I used to think, that filming wasn't that hard, but it is. I mean, if you want to get the proper angle and you want to fucking make it look right, and this, that, and, you got it. It's just everything with it. I just feel so brand new with film. That it's something new, it's something fresh, and it's something that I'm almost as passionate about. Now, here's the biggest problem, though. This is the biggest problem. I'm sure you run into this, too.
What's that?
What do I do right now? Do I take the photo, or do I shoot the fucking clip? You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
You right? You can't clone yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's my biggest fucking problem these days. Do I take the photo, or do I shoot the clip?
Yeah.
And hopefully you have a homie that's down to do both. Right. That's when the session is perfect.
Are you?
When the homie is down to do both.
Are you pretty strict? Are you pretty strict on using your make photos? Like so you know how it is. Sometimes you might get that perfect catch on that kickflip, and he slips away, and then when he actually lands, like doesn't look that good on the photo, and like you keep the better looking photo.
Well, are we pulling back the curtain right now? Or are we giving away the big secret?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like I'm pretty. I'll tell you.
Honestly, as long as the dude makes it, I use the best looking photo, and I think every single photographer does that. And if they say they don't, they're fucking lying or they're stupid. If the dude made the trick, it's at the same session. You fucking use the one that looks the best. And you know what? At the end, you just tell the skateboarder that was the one anyway. Right. He's going to get butthurt. You know what I'm saying? So there it is. You heard it here. Take it for what it is, but that's the way it goes, man.
Yeah. Well, okay. So that brings up the point. Then, so like sometimes when I'm torn, I'm like, do I shoot the photo or shoot the video? Like, what I'll do is like I'll just be like, yo, give me that buttery ass make on video first. Let's get a clip, right? And then like once they're done with it, depending on how they work for it, if they kill themselves for it, I'll just be like, we'll just leave it at that. But if they still got in it, I'll just be like, yo, can you just like just try it like 3 or 4 more times? Maybe just pose on one for me.
Yeah, that's a great way. What about the rolling the dice thing, man? Where you take the photo and you get the fucking photo, dude still hasn't made it, and then you pull the fucking camera out and film it. The problem with that is when you're shooting the photo, if he fucking makes it and it is the gnarliest thing, and he's not going to fucking shoot it again. But I guess it goes the same way. He got the clip and he doesn't want to shoot it after that. It's 6 of one, half dozen of another, right? It's that judgment call. But I'm telling you, man, that's my biggest problem right now. Do I shoot the fucking clip or do I shoot the fucking photo?
Yeah, man. Dude,
what a great life, right?
Yeah.
It could be worse.
I mean, it's something definitely like, it could be very, very much worse problems out there, things to deal with, like when you're working, like, oh God, this kickflip's so tight. I want to get it in all these ways, it's like, I don't know. It's better than having some fucking desk job or some bullshit like that. But I also do like know when, like I do feel pressure. Like we went to I went to China back in December with like a bunch of homies, and it was sick as fuck, man. Like best crew and everything, and I mean I brought one other guy, my homie Vin Dog. He like films for Zero and shit. So like, cause he films VX, and I was like, dude, I'm not even trying to fuck with VX. So, but I want some VX footy, so I brought him along, and I had another homie along, and like, so these guys were kind of helping me out on the video tip, but I still like had a vision for a video that I wanted to shoot and stuff like that. But at the same time, like, I'm the only photographer there, and so I'm like, I feel this pressure. Like, there's some spots, where they're like, they're getting footage there, and I'm like, dude, I really want to film this with my camera, be so tight, or how I want to film this for the video, but I also need to get that photo. And then when there's like, there's like 10 of us, and sometimes it's just like, dude, just keep going in the room. It's like, yo, homies, you guys gotta wait. You gotta give me a fucking heads up, something like to if you're just fucking around, cool, I won't shoot you. But you guys over here, you're really trying this. So like, tap your board, put your hand up, yell my name, say something, dude. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just like running around trying to shoot all these guys and trying to get photos and trying to get this good video. And I'm like, dude, that's what I really get stressed out. Like, stresses me the fuck out. Right.
Yeah, I'm lucky. My son is a fucking hardcore skater now, and he's actually into filming. He's taking a photo class, so turning him into my apprentice. That's the easy way.
Yeah, that's tight, dude. You got like your own personal like little assistant.
Got a second body for.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking that's rad, man. Like I wish I had that. Like some of my homies, like now, like this kid named Taro I skate with, like he just got a I forgot what he bought. But he bought another like mirrorless. I forgot. I think he's got a Fuji as well. But like just like, all right, dude, like, yeah, man, we need to, like, if when we're out shooting, man, like I need you guys to get the B-roll or something, like to alleviate some of my workload, because that is the only time when it gets like hectic. But yo, Bruce, so I think we might like fucking wrap this up. I don't know like how long I want to keep these quite yet, because I don't want to like bore people. I don't have people like have to commit.
No, I feel you.
I mean,
well, cool, man. Well, thanks for having me. To be the first one, man.
Thank you.
And like I said, after about a year or so of doing it, let's get back on the horn and see where we're at, man.
See what's up,
That'd
man.
Be cool.
Sick. Thanks, Bruce. Thanks so much, man. Like, really fucking stoked to catch up with you, man. I'm glad everything's going well with you too, man. And yeah, now like with
back at you.
Thank you, man. Thank you,
man. Man.
We'll be in touch, dog.
All right, dog.
All right, have a good night.
Talk to you soon.
Plan designed and directed by his red